You have exactly 24 hours, the lawyer said as he slowly pushed a thick envelope across the polished oak table. Marry the man your late father chose, or lose your entire inheritance. Sophia stared at him, convinced she had misheard. Her father's mansion, the luxury hotels, the investment companies, the family estate, everything she had expected to inherit was suddenly hanging on one impossible condition. There has to be a mistake, she whispered. There isn't, the lawyer replied calmly. These were your father's final instructions. He opened the envelope and revealed a photograph. Sophia's face hardened the moment she saw it. Daniel, the quiet man from her father's hometown. A mechanic with simple clothes, a modest life, and someone she had barely spoken to at the funeral. There is absolutely no way, she snapped. I'd rather lose everything. The lawyer folded his hands. Then tomorrow at this time, every asset your father owned will be transferred to the charitable foundation he established. Sophia walked out in disbelief. Before we dive deeper, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss any of our upcoming videos. Outside the office, anger burned inside her. She couldn't understand why her brilliant father would force her into such a cruel decision. The man had spent his entire life teaching her to think independently. Why would he suddenly decide who she should marry? There had to be another reason. Without wasting another minute, Sophia drove straight to Daniel's small repair shop. She found him wiping grease from his hands as he finished repairing an old pickup truck. You planned this, she shouted. Customers turned to stare. Daniel looked genuinely confused. What are you talking about? My father's will. Don't pretend you know nothing. You somehow convinced him to put your name in it. Daniel remained silent for a moment before shaking his head. I found out about the will at the same time you did. I don't believe you. You don't have to. His calm voice only made Sophia angrier. If you think I'm marrying you for money, you've completely underestimated me. Daniel sighed. I never asked for your father's money. I don't even want it. Sophia laughed bitterly. Nice performance. She stormed away, convinced he was lying. That evening she couldn't sleep. Something about Daniel's expression kept replaying in her mind. He hadn't looked excited. He hadn't acted greedy. If anything, he seemed just as uncomfortable as she was. The next morning, Sophia decided to investigate. She traveled back to her father's hometown, speaking to people who had known Daniel for years. What she heard shocked her. Everyone described him the same way. Honest, kind, hardworking. Someone who quietly helped families pay hospital bills without expecting recognition. Someone who repaired vehicles for struggling neighbors without charging them. Then an elderly woman shared a story Sophia had never heard before. Several years earlier, her father had been trapped inside a burning vehicle after an accident on a lonely road. Before emergency services arrived, Daniel had pulled him out, risking his own life while everyone else stood frozen in fear. Sophia could hardly believe it. When her father offered Daniel millions of dollars as a reward, Daniel refused every cent. He told your father, the old woman recalled, a life is not something you put a price on. Sophia stood speechless. For the first time, doubt began replacing her anger. She returned to the city and searched through her father's private study. Hidden inside one of his desk drawers was another sealed envelope addressed only to her. With trembling hands, she opened it. My dear Sophia, if you're reading this, you're probably angry with me. I know this condition must feel unfair. But throughout my life, I met thousands of successful people. Many were intelligent. Many were wealthy. Very few were trustworthy. Daniel never asked me for anything. He protected me when there was nothing to gain. He refused riches when anyone else would have accepted them. Money can build companies, but it cannot build character. I cannot choose your future, but I can give you the opportunity to recognize a person whose heart has already been tested. Whatever decision you make, let it come from understanding, not pride. Love, Dad. Tears rolled down Sophia's face. For years, she had judged people by their appearance, education, and social status. Her father had been looking much deeper. Only 2 hours remained before the deadline. Sophia hurried to Daniel's shop. She found him locking the doors. "I've been looking for you," she said, trying to catch her breath. Daniel smiled politely. "I was actually on my way to see the lawyer." She looked surprised. "Why?" "To decline everything." "What?" "I won't let you spend your life trapped by someone else's decision. You deserve to marry only if it's what you truly want." Sophia stared at him. He was willingly walking away from unimaginable wealth without asking for anything in return. In that moment, she understood exactly what her father had wanted her to see. Not a perfect man, a good man. She stepped closer. "I judged you before I knew you." Daniel remained quiet. "I'm sorry. You don't owe me an apology." "Yes, I do." She smiled through her tears. "I don't want to marry you because of my inheritance anymore." Daniel looked into her eyes. "I want to marry you because I finally see the kind of person you are." For a long moment, neither of them spoke. Then Daniel smiled. "Are you certain?" She nodded. "For the first time in my life." They arrived at the lawyer's office just minutes before the deadline. After exchanging their vows, the lawyer handed Sophia another envelope. Inside was one final note from her father. "You've already received your inheritance, not the businesses, not the money, the wisdom to recognize someone whose character is worth more than all the wealth I could ever leave behind." Years later, although they successfully managed the family business together, people who knew them always said their greatest treasure wasn't the fortune they inherited. It was the trust they built every single day. If you were in Sophia's position, would you have walked away from billions, or would you have taken the chance to discover who Daniel really was? Share your answer in the comments below. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another emotional story filled with powerful life lessons. We'll see you in the next video.